Good evening. Good evening. Let's just have an easy conversation tonight. And I am looking for a good time to go live and get some more interaction in besides just getting out there and meeting people in the street. But support. How is it that you, the citizen, is envisioning how you support your elected official? Well, let me just give it to you. This current system we have does not want our citizen weighted input. You can go to every town hall. You can scream on every doorstep. You can go to every capital in every state here. It does not equate to legislative authority when it's time to cast a vote. I talked about House Bill 1205, but I saw a young lady today. She was in there arguing against House Bill 451, 541. My apologies. House Bill 541. And the House bill essentially says that they want to have the ability to reclassify jobs so that they do not have to pay you the $15 minimum wage. And you can't do anything about it because the amendments that this lady and her colleagues put together to put some safeguards in were all voted down. Representative democracy does not want the average citizen. Yet I am telling citizens that I want to give you legislative authority. You can go to my page, www.legislativeauthority2026, all one word.com, and you can hit the message and say, hey, here's the place where we need to fill in the gap to make sure that we get legislative authority. Hey, you outlined what you need to do to make this happen, but I think you missed this piece right here because I'm looking to integrate citizens into our politics, into our government. Look, I even looked this up because that's what I do, and you can go find the references. How do we help support our current elected officials? Voting, campaign volunteering, donations, advocacy in grassroots organizations, contacting elected officials, attending town halls and public meetings, social media engagement, petitions, joining political parties or interest groups, hosting fundraisers or events, providing feedback, running for office, or encouraging others to run, participating in surveys or polls, displaying signs and bumper stickers, educating others, but nothing weighted to the legislation. Gosh, I hear them asking you, and I know they're saying everything that makes it sound like they're you, except for the part where they want you to be a part of it. We the people, but they never say, come on in. I'm going to also include you in the vote. I have said it over and over again. You must complete the sentence. I have a video that talks about completing the sentence. We the people need to do what? If the people just wake up and do what? I just read you a list of the only ways you can support with no authority on legislation or statutes or laws whatsoever. Get out there, hold up your sign because it's necessary, because it educates people. It absolutely does. But we've got to take it another step forward. Supporting me is another step forward. But it's supporting the idea that you want to be a part of economic force shaping, not in the history of this country has citizens, the lower level, non-elected citizens, been brought to the table. It's not happened. And yes, citizens are going back and forward because we have parties. Yeah, people are going to ask you for their money so they can travel to talk to citizens about not giving you any form of legislative authority to sit at the table. And you feel connected. You feel connected until those doors close. It's a disconnect and it's a false advertisement, and you should be just as tired of it as I am. You should be, just as tired of it as I am. And I want you to keep speaking out. And I want to continue to see individuals say we need to do better. And they need us to. And you do need to keep calling them out, but you need to call them out on including you, not speaking for you. We've given too much advocacy away. And the only way to fix that is to give another person advocacy and cross your fingers. Ain't that crazy? The number one thing I get is, can I trust you, Rodney Christopher Glover? Can I trust you? That's the number one. How do I know you're going to do what you say you're going to do? Because you keep voting for people who never tell you they're going to give you legislative authority. They only say, I'm going to advocate for you. I'm going to give you a seat at the table. Because that is what citizens are complaining about. You need a seat at the table. I just did a video where I told y'all about success, failure, and strategy. Yeah, today may go bad, but it don't mean you got to think about how you're going to survive tomorrow. We're going to survive. But on the other side of survival, what is there? What do we do different? What are we going to do different that's going to set a new standard and a new means of citizens being heard? Legislative authority for citizens is what we're going to do. We're going to rewrite the system to where it includes everyone, where everybody has a voice at the table. Let the elected officials that we do, you're getting hired to do a job. I'm getting hired to do a job. I have to come back to the boss to validate the work that I put together for you. Who, what, when, where, why, and how we're going to accomplish this bill that we put down here. If the collective boss don't like it, the bill falls down. What is wrong with that? The arguments we're having are because we don't have power. We don't have a voice. I know that y'all got your favorites. You push them, they push them on us all the time. But they're not asking you to come to the table. They're not asking. So we got to fix it. States have sovereignty. That's why we have to fix it at the state level. It'll be a lot more difficult at that federal level. A lot more difficult. Because that's all states that have to figure out a way. That means that in Florida, we have to set the standard for giving citizens a seat at the table. We have to we have to start seeing what works and what doesn't work, and fixing it, correcting it, making it more and more efficient. Right now, there is no efficiency because there is no pathway. I would more than love to travel to every single county, but let's be real. Honestly, it is expensive. It's expensive to get yourself in the paper. And when you look at the numbers, and I will send the numbers, I brought this up. There ain't even that many people that read the paper. So, it is expensive. And I would, but you know what? You can just tell somebody. You can tell somebody that, hey, I want a seat at the table. And this person who is asking me for a job is promising me a seat at the table. It's promising me a pathway to a seat at the table. And I want that seat. I want the ability to also speak for myself when we have legislative sessions. I want to be able to weigh in on amendments. I don't want them to just be voted out, because that amendment may have been healthy for me. It's important to me. But I really need you guys to really consider how you're supposed to be supporting, and where does your support cut off? And I'm telling you, it cuts off when they drop that gavel. Sessions in. Everyone, all citizens, you're done. We don't need your input. Concessions in. I can speak to you all day long. I can pander to you all day long. When that gavel drops, I don't want to hear anything else you have to say. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Legislative authority is that. It's a new way It's a new way because it's not been done. So let's make it happen at the state level. I have a way to be supported. Just need you to put the petition together. I already pre-filled it out. It's on the website. All you got to do is print it out. Print it out. Take it to your supervisor of elections office. Turn it in. That's it. That's it. It costs 10 cents. Costs 10 cents. Consider more of yourself when you think about legislative authority. Consider more of you and the things that you want. We will make that happen as a collective. It's just food for thought. And it's also a campaign promise that I will bring legislative authority to the citizens of Florida. You guys have a great evening.